Hey everyone, it is late in the afternoon on the 1st of July, 2024. I didn't think I was going to be doing an update today, but I will because I got something very exciting in the mail today. I got my rebuilt cruise control from George Borelli in Florida, who rebuilt it for me. He was very thorough, very detailed, so I fully expect it to function because I previously went through all the other parts of the speed control system and make sure all the rest of the switches and relays work. So it should be a fairly simple and quick matter to install this rebuilt servo and take it for a spin. This is it right here. Of course, all the work was done on the inside, so there's nothing really to see. I'm just showing you how the unit itself. So not much holds it in there, just a couple of bolts go around on top there, a wiring harness, the two speedometer cables, and the two vacuum fittings or vacuum hoses, and that's it. So I'll show you the details as I go through it. Pretty exciting. On 67 to 69, I believe the location was identical as far as where it sat. 66, I think, was similar, even though it used a different type of system. I think it sat in the same general area. But all I have to do is take off these two bolts, disconnect these two connections here for the speedometer cables. Oh yeah, I gotta take this hose off. That's for the bellows down there, and just swap it out. Let's see. Should be pretty easy just to take off the cables. They're probably just finger tight. Yeah, the unit that's in here right now is just a trash unit. The interior of it is totally shot and useless, but it served to run my speedometer because I didn't want to directly connect the speedometer cable from the transmission to the cable inside the car. It just would have been too much work, so it was easier just to put the dummy unit in here and just use it for that purpose. All right, so here's my rebuilt unit ready to go in. Just a matter of slipping it under the plate here and bolting it in, which is hard to do with one hand, so I'll show you in a minute. We had a heck of a thunderstorm last night, a lot of water, and I'm reminded it's summertime here because all of a sudden I'm getting attacked by mosquitoes. Oh joy, I'm gonna have to get my little special device out that wards them off. Oh boy, they're just eating me alive. The reason I turn this back on, however, is I'm reminded that I neglected to reattach this to the throttle cable. So even with a working servo, it ain't gonna do any good until I reconnect that. I didn't get around. I don't know why. I guess I was being neglectful there. I think I'm just going to use a small hose clamp on it for now. It's going to look kind of garish, but it'll do the job for testing purposes anyway. So you can see now I've got the new unit in here. Still need to tighten these two bolts down. The vacuum lines are connected now. So got to plug that in. So getting close. All right, you can see my very crude setup here. I guess it doesn't look that bad, but it should hold. I just have to make sure the accelerator still works. You see how it slides over the speed control cable there. So that seems to work fine. Doesn't seem to be hurting anything. So now I'm going to take that off the fast idle cam. And then I'm going to apply vacuum manually to the bellows here to make sure that it's working smoothly. So I'm squeezing it now. Okay, there we go. Okay, it's moving. You can see it moving there. It's slow, and that's okay. I'm watching the bellows compress too. It seems to hold air still just fine, even though it's 57 years old. I probably should replace it just to be safe, but looks like it's doing what it needs to. Yeah, she's going real good. Yeah, I think I probably should have replaced that bellows. It does look like it seeps a little bit, but should be good enough for a test. I think it's going to be fine. So I'll just let that back out, watch it go back down. Yeah, it's doing what it's supposed to do, so it should be good enough for a test. All right, so these moments are all just kind of nerve-wracking to me. Spent a lot of money, took quite a bit of time, but now I have this rebuilt cruise control servo under the hood. Everything is hooked up. I tested the accelerator linkage to make sure there's no binding or anything, and it appears to work like it should with the bellows as far as activating it. So I'm about to take this baby on a test drive and see if it actually engages and works as I expect it to. I seem to have not solved the problem as far as sound goes when I'm driving the car. It doesn't look like it comes through very well. I'm going to try driving with the air conditioning running so there's less road noise. Maybe that'll help with the sound coming through. So we're going to get started on this thing here. So let's crank her up. All right, turn the air conditioning on. We don't need it real cold because it's kind of cool today, so I just love having a working air conditioning. That's really cool. Turn this unit on down here. Okay, it comes on as it should, turns off as it should. So I'll just leave it on, and we're going to get started. Oh, I just had to show you my working low fuel warning light there. That's always good to see. And because it's working, before I get on the road, I'm going to stop at the Valero station across the street. A little gas first. All right, folks. We're accelerating up here. I'm going to give it my first attempt here in a moment. Get up to speed a little bit. The air conditioning is running. It's very comfortable in here. In fact, it's almost a little bit cold. Can't complain about that. All right, I'm up to 40 miles an hour, so the unit is on. So I'm going to press the button here on the end of the stock, see what happens. Nothing happened. Well, that's disappointing. My initial test failed. Nothing happened when I pressed the button on the end of the stock. So let me do some troubleshooting. I may have been mistaken. It may actually have been engaged, and I just couldn't see the jewel light on. So we'll try it again here in a moment when the light turns green again. On the air conditioning, a viewer recently gave me a comment which sounded very smart. He talked about the difference between R12 and R134A and how R134A requires a differently designed condenser, one that has a lot more surface area to exchange heat, because R134 is not as efficient at exchanging heat as R12 was, and that made perfect sense. So I thought that was interesting. All right, should be getting a green light here soon. All right, the speed limit on this road is 50 miles an hour. Of course, everybody goes a lot faster than that, but I'm going to use that as my test, so see what happens here. I just pressed it. I let my foot off the pedal. And it's slowing down. Yeah, it's not engaged. I got some troubleshooting to do here. Now that I have some shade over here, I can see the cruise light flashing at me when I'm pressing the button on the stop, but it's not staying on. It's not engaging. So I'm going to contact George and see what he can tell me. Help me out here. All right, I messaged back and forth with George a little bit. He offered to take it back and take another look at it. He said he could have missed something. But before I send that back to him, I'm going to take some time to do some more troubleshooting. That turn signal button on that stock there, those aren't always reliable. So I'm going to see about bypassing it somehow, see if I can try and engage it that way before I try sending that back to him for another look. We'll see how that goes. I probably won't have time real soon, but I'll get around to it. One step at a time.